Episode 313, AI's Hidden Overtime.
The primitive forms of artificial intelligence we already have proved very useful.
AI is a golden opportunity.
How do we ensure that this technology is regulated?
The long arc of technological history is now in an extraordinary new phase.
The AI 6 podcast with Joanne Sweeney.
A study from UC Berkeley featured in Harvard Business Review tracked what actually happens when employees get AI tools. The first promise of AI is, of course, productivity and higher value work. However, these findings make for interesting reading. People worked faster, longer, and harder, often without being asked to. So AI didn't reduce the workload, it intensified it. Hello, and you're very welcome back to AI 6. If you are a returning listener, thank you so much. If you're brand new, well, hello. And let me tell you, I'm on a mission to upskill 500,000 people in AI in just 6 minutes a day. Researchers Aruna Rathanathan and Zini Maggie Yi followed 40 employees at a 200-person US tech company for 8 months across engineering, products, design, research, and operations. The company gives staff access to AI tools, but never made them mandatory. People just chose to use them because, of course, we're all curious about AI. And what happened next is very interesting. Employees didn't use the time savings to switch off or go deeper on one important task. They worked faster, they took on a wider range of responsibilities, they extended their working hours into early mornings, nights, and breaks. And remember, nobody asked them to. The company never mandated AI use. It provided access and let people experiment. But AI made doing more feel possible, even rewarding. So people quietly did more. And here's one of the most interesting patterns. Workers started sending prompts to AI right before meetings or lunch, letting the system keep working while they stepped away. On the surface, that sounds very efficient. AI drafts the document while you're in a meeting. But over time, those micro-tasks created workdays with fewer natural pauses. People began checking outputs during breaks, late at night and early in the morning. Because it was so easy to start one more AI-assisted task, the boundaries between work and rest started dissolving. What started as experimentation accumulated into a quiet expansion of what each person was responsible for. The researchers called what happened next workload creep. Once AI tools arrived, employees started stepping into work that would normally sit with someone else, or that would have justified hiring another person. In interviews, workers described taking over colleagues' tasks, feeding information to AI during meetings, and correcting other people's projects. AI made those cross-boundary tasks feel manageable, so people just tried it. But those small experiments added up. Over time, workers absorbed responsibilities that might once have required extra headcount. Many reported feeling stretched too thin as those added tasks began eating into personal time. The job expanded while the role, the pay, and the staffing levels stayed exactly the same. The Berkeley team is direct about the consequences. Workload creep leads to cognitive fatigue, burnout, and weakened decision-making, even when the extra work starts as voluntary experimentation. In the short term, it looks like a productivity surge, more tasks complete, more projects advanced, but that really masks what the researchers call silent strain. Over time, the quality of work drops, people burn out, and the early gains disappear. There's also a separate Harvard Business School study worth mentioning here. Researchers surveyed over 2,300 people about 940 different occupations and asked which jobs should be automated. On average, people supported automating about 30% of roles that AI could currently handle. When told to imagine a future system that outperforms humans at a lower cost, support jumped to 58%. But even then, people resisted automating about 1 in 8 occupations, particularly where they valued a human presence. The takeaway is that people care about more than efficiency. They care about connection and trust. Organizations that ignore those preferences risk alienating the very audiences they serve. And the Berkeley researchers are not arguing against AI, they are arguing for managing it deliberately. Their recommendations are practical. First, build in intentional pauses. Before a major decision is finalised, require the team to articulate at least one counter-argument and one explicit link to the organisational goals. Force reflection instead of accepting AI-generated options at face value. Second, sequence your projects. Move forward deliberately, not at the maximum pace the tools make possible. Just because AI can accelerate everything at once doesn't mean it should. Third, protect time for human connection. Short check-ins, shared reflection, structured dialogue. These interrupt the pattern of continuous solo engagement with AI and help restore perspective. Without these pauses, people end up in a loop of constant output with nobody stopping to ask whether the output is actually good. So the principle is clear. The team should lead the AI and not the other way around. By regulating the order and timing of work, organizations can preserve attention, reduce cognitive overload, and support more thoughtful decision-making. I think this is a great study that requires reading for every manager rolling out AI tools right now. We always think about the risk of AI failing, but what about the risk of it succeeding too well? And nobody notices the cost until people are burned out, stretched too thin, and producing lower quality work than before. If you've had an experience of AI bringing in extra workload creep, I'd love to hear about it. If you have an opinion on this topic, on this research, then get in touch. That's it for today's show. If you're ready to turn these insights into skills, here's how I can help. Get your copy of my book, AI Playbook, on Amazon. It's the perfect companion to the show. For weekly AI strategy, subscribe to my newsletter, Human in the Loop, on LinkedIn. Or if you want to take the next big step, you can take our CPD accredited professional diploma in AI. Maybe you need something more tailored for your organisation. You can book a call in my calendar at digitaltraining.ie, or if you work in government or public sector, go over to publicsectormarketingpros.com. If you found this episode useful, please share it with a pro that you know, and I'd love to read your comments on Spotify. And if you can, take a second to like, rate, or subscribe wherever you listen. It really helps the show. This is AI6. I'll talk to you on the next episode.